everybody. Eee. I just got in from work a few minutes ago. It was a good, chill but great Sunday night at the restaurant. People were in good moods, good spirits, getting ready for an indulgent week ahead in the U.S. We have Thanksgiving coming up, so that means lots of fattening foods, lots of foods with like melted Velveeta cheese all over them, lots of cream of chickens and mushrooms and layered cracker-crusted vegetables that aren't healthy anymore. My favorite is corn, like the dressing that goes in the, we didn't grow up making it stuffing inside the turkey. My mom and my grandmother, my mom got my grandmother's recipe from my dad's mother. They made a dressing that is made from buttermilk biscuits and cornbread and sage, onion, and celery, and maybe some other herbs, and then chicken stock, and I want to say maybe even egg in there somewhere. I'm not sure, but that makes a nice, like, dense, moist, savory bread dressing that is amazing. And it's almost like the texture of a bread pudding where you just like slice out a chunk. It's like my favorite part of Thanksgiving. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? How are y'all? I hope you are looking forward to a nice week ahead. We are here for our weekly energy oracle forecast with the Oracle of Oddities, editions 1, 2, and 3. I'm not really sure if you can get this deck. This is by Black and the Moon, Claire Goodchild. She, at least when I bought these 3 editions, she was doing limited prints and then selling them and then kind of going in rounds, and then she would announce when she would print them. And this, I've had this deck for a few years, so I'm not sure if you can actually get this deck anymore. That's why I use it for our channel. I have a lot of out of print decks and weird, not weird, but rare, unavailable decks these days. And so that's one advantage you have by watching this channel, is that you get to experience decks that aren't available to buy anymore. So I just try to share the ones that are calling to me, but it happens to be like that my favorites are usually the ones that are out of print. All right. Last night we had a really good episode of Secret Teachings of Jesus. I would say I'd highly suggest going back and watching that. We had a lot of good comments come in. People really were digging that episode. It's called Jesus Tricked Everyone, if you're looking for the most recent. It should be at the top of my playlist, but every now and then the videos get like stuck at the bottom in some weird random non-linear wormhole somewhere in space-time. All right, what do we need to know for the week ahead? What are the themes that we will be working with this week as far as the spiritual energy over us that's crowning us, and the energy that we will be working with, the lessons, the challenges, the opportunities? What do we need to know for our highest good that will protect us? Ooh, embrace. Okay, so whatever is going on this week, embrace the moment that you're in. We've been talking a lot recently about really being present with the now and embracing where you're at. Own where you've arrived at this moment in your life and take a breath and enjoy, right? No reason to rush ahead. What's the rush, right? All right. Ooh, security. I love this. So embrace things that are nurturing your security. I know that I've been, picking up more shifts recently, just preparing for our little slow lull right after Christmas. But I've also been sort of setting the stage to hopefully manifest a busier January at work. But think about the things, like if you're embracing your current moment and you're not regretting and you're not anxious about the future coming in, it really cultivates this deep sense of security within you that like all is well and that everything will be well. And even though challenges are sure to come, you know that the creator, divine, has always gotten you through it up until now. And now you're even more aware of how to be an active participant in your energetic environment, right? So we know that if we are anxious, right, it's going to attract a little bit more chaos. But if we practice absolute certainty and faith, that even though the situation may not be unfolding in the way that we would like it to, it's still unfolding in the way that we need it to ultimately support our highest good and deepest and most ultimate fulfillment. God is good. Divine is good. Ultimately, the universe, the creator, divine, all of this is set up so that we can come here and become self-realized, step into our own divinity as fully, integrated whole human beings with a divine spark within us, and be able to be co-creators in our reality, be so self-mastered that we never get anxious about anything, that we're always in a state of heaven, of peace, of ultimate fulfillment, of knowing that we have everything that we ever need and want already. It's just that we haven't needed to reach for it yet. So it's not there yet. But as soon as we reach for it, as soon as we need it, it will show up, right? So nurture those feelings of security within you. A lot of times when this comes up, this card, I've had this come up in readings with women who were pregnant, and they told me they were pregnant, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. So I don't know if you all preggers out there, but maybe if you think you might be or you're trying to be, maybe this is a good week to, do the nasty or not. Avoid the nasty or do the nasty. Somebody fertile up in here. Okay, what is next? We have harmony. I love this. Oh my gosh. So embrace, we've got security, and because we are surrendered to the moment, embracing it, we aren't fighting against it. We're radically accepting where we are, and we're feeling secure in ourselves, and we're establishing a deep sense of security. That's what we call building. It's part of what we call building the vessel. It's when we build like this desire for the light, a desire that is so strong that we're willing to overcome our shortcomings. We're willing to overcome our laziness. We're willing to push outside of our comfort zone because we want to have that fulfillment. And so when we are feeling so steady and so secure and really radically accepting the now and the situation that we're in, and trusting the plan and the direction that divine has us faced in for this moment, and ultimately is ordering our footsteps, and we let go and get out of our own way and stop trying to control everything and stop being neurotic, then we can fall into that harmonious flow of the cosmos. And everything just starts to unfold, and we start to realize that cliche saying that you hear that's so infuriating, that nothing's happening to you, that everything is unfolding for you on your behalf, is absolutely true. So it's just about surrender, release, let go, let the current pull you and take you and guide you, right? Don't get so swept up in it that you lose your sense of direction and your center, but let that divine influence, that energy, pull you and guide you and lead you. We're coming up on the new moon of Sagittarius this week, and Jupiter is going to be opening things up for us, and expansion is going to be possible again, and feeling optimistic and adventurous and curious and philosophical and like putting all of these lessons that we have learned through the Scorpio season into use, going forward boldly with optimism and a little bit of maybe overconfidence. But yeah, just allow, right? Be in the moment, surrender to it, and you will find a harmonious flow. And then it's like things can come to you with ease, and it's not about labor and toil. You're not constantly dodging challenges and issues, right? It's like your normal is that you are living in a miraculous state instead of living in a very turbulent state, hoping for a miracle. We're shifting our energy so that we are embodied and our overself is guiding us, and we are embodying the higher self, and we are living in a state where oh, I lost my words. Oh crap. Well, I was getting at the point where things were flowing with ease and not having to toil and work. Oh yeah, like where miracles are like your normal. Like everything is going so well all the time that you don't even notice miracles because you didn't need one. It's like an example would be like, oh, I got a car wreck, but like my car wasn't totaled and nobody was injured. It was a miracle. And it's like the real miracle is I didn't even get in a car wreck today. Right? So that's the comparison. It's like you want to be living in a miraculous state of ease and harmony and flow. And I think that we're getting more and more into that. And as we sort of embody all of these lessons that we've learned recently, I think that we're going to start seeing how they're playing out and where our lives are beginning to open up and expand. And there's going to be more forward progress and movement. And then we got apathy. So be careful. I know that like coming out of all of this intensity, all of the eclipses, all of the changes and the transformations and the deaths and rebirths and people that we've said goodbye to, people we said hello to, people we said hello, goodbye, I'm so confused what happened to. Like it can really make us feel tired in our hearts and tired inside and tired in our soul. And it's really so important that we don't lose our desire and become apathetic, because the thing that like propels the manifestation, the thing that causes the manifestation to happen, the catalyst is our desire. Without desire, there's no movement, there's no manifestation. Our desire is what's pulling it in. It's what's conjuring what we're calling towards our soul, what our soul is yearning for, what it's calling for, what it's conjuring. The power comes from your desire. So if you are feeling lukewarm, then it's like you're only hurting yourself, right? It's like, I feel like there was something in the Bible somewhere about talking about how it's like not being lukewarm, but it's better to be either like all for something or all against it. And it's because that apathy keeps you in a state of like vibrational confusion and nothing's connecting. But also the fact that like without desire, there is no creation process, because you're not magnetic. You're not pulling anything through from the unmanifest. There's no catalyst, there's no fuel, there's no fire. So yes, it's very important that we don't fall into despair or like a low-level depression where we just sort of resign ourselves and we're just like, whatever, I don't care anymore. Just I'm resigning myself to let the fate carry me. Like there's such a difference between saying, okay, I surrender. Like I trust that the universe is going to guide me, and it's got, divine God, my creator's got my best interest at heart, and honestly has the best plan for me. And I need to like let Jesus take the wheel for a minute and get out of my own way, because clearly I'm like throwing a wrench in the gears and slowing things down and creating blocks. So I'm surrendering, right, my agenda, and I'm going to listen to the guidance I'm given. And when I'm told to be still, I will be still. And when I'm told to act, I will act. That is very different. Saying I surrender I surrender my expectations. Maybe things aren't going to work out the way I think or want them to, but something else is going to work out in the most magnificent expression of what it can be. So don't worry. Like, that is a whole different attitude and a whole different vibration and an energy than being apathetic, being resigned to my fate. Like, oh, I give up then. Just whatever. I resign myself. Like, I don't care anymore. Just do whatever you want. Just fine. That works. It's great. Like, that is apathy. Or like, I don't even have the energy to try. I don't even care. Whatever. I'm over this. Like, that's apathy. So we want to avoid apathy because it's going to shut down all of our manifestations. Even things that aren't related to the thing that you're trying to manifest. You can't get apathetic anywhere because your vibration is vibration. It's not like you're compartmentalized and like you're radiating like really good over here because you want to get that dream, but then like your apathy for this thing is like confined to this area. No, it's like your apathy is affecting everything in your life. So that means that all of your kingdoms need to be in order. Keep your house in order. Stay on top of your chores. Don't leave empty vessels around. I've been really paying attention lately about leaving empty vessels. Leaving an empty vessel, an example of that, like leaving empty vessels cause chaos. And what that is, it's like saying, ooh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start this. Writing like things to-do lists of like these projects that you intend to do or things that you start that you don't finish or that you never follow up on. An empty vessel is having an idea and telling everybody around you how great it would be. Like, oh, I've got this great business idea, but like you're never going to do anything about it, but you're just living off of the high of everybody going like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Like that's stealing energy, and it's leaving an empty vessel, right? It's a husk. You don't have any intention of filling that vessel or building it or doing anything with it. So we don't want to leave empty vessels. I've even been making sure to get rid of things in the house that are physical examples of empty vessels. Like, I don't know, if I was like almost done with a container of something, and there was just like a little bit left, just like throw that out. Like get rid of like all of these things that are empty and they are creating clutter in your energy field. I don't know how I got off on that track, but it was about leaving empty vessels, talking about what that is. Ooh, an empty vessel would be saying that you want to get in shape or you want to be healthier, and then like you keep saying that you're going to like do a certain diet or like start working out more, and you don't, and you just keep feeling worse and worse because you're like, oh, I keep meaning to do that and I don't, and then you keep beating yourself up because you haven't done it yet. That's an empty vessel. You'd be better off to just be like, yeah, I'm really enjoying my indulgence right now. And when I'm ready, I will force myself through this apathy and I will get motivated. But it's like you also have to realize that it's up to you to motivate yourself. I have heard people, I've known people where like their whole life, they've always been like, well, maybe I'll get motivated to do that someday. Maybe I'll get motivated someday. And it's like, what are you waiting for? Like, what do you think is going to happen? One day you're just going to get in the mood. Like, people do feel that way, but it's like, if you live your life that way, you're just like living at the mercy of like the winds of change. It's like, oh, I'm waiting on the weather to have like the life that I want. It's like Stephen Pressfield, Stephen Pressfield, he wrote the book War of Art, and I think it was in this book that I didn't read that book, but I've heard him talk about it in interviews. I'm an expert on this. But he talks about how as an artist or a creative, a professional doesn't wait to get inspired. They are a professional. They show up and they do it like a job every day. They create. If they sit in front of a blank screen for the amount of time that they've allotted for their creation, then that's what they do for those 3 hours. But they show up every day with the intention and the discipline to sit there and do it. And usually something will come. If you sit there and you sit down and do it, it will happen. It's when you procrastinate, right? And so only amateurs wait for inspiration. So if you think about that and you apply it to life and you look around you, it's like the people who are living these accomplished lives where they're making an impact, or they've found their true self and they're really just like living out loud. You know, those people, they do not wait until they get in the mood or they're motivated. They push themselves to have motivation. Motivation is a muscle that you grow. It's not something that just comes in one day. It's not even something that some people have naturally. Like, yeah, some people are more naturally motivated than others, but also it's a self-discipline. And I do believe that if you don't have self-discipline, then I don't even know what you have in life, because everything requires discipline. And everything that, like, people who are successful at things, or people who accomplish their goals, or people who are able to get in shape, or whatever, if that's your example, it takes discipline. If you want to learn a skill and you want to master that skill, it takes discipline. Christ consciousness is a discipline. That's why they were called disciples, disciples of Christ. They weren't just followers or students. They were disciples because they were having to live a practice, right? It's a practice. That's why people call it their meditation practice, their yoga practice. It's not like they learn how to do it once and they nail it and they're like, okay, this is it. This is how I do it. It's like you get better and the practice grows deeper. And it's something that the practice implies that there's no end. It's just an ongoing journey, to me, if that makes sense. And release. So this card makes me feel, it always makes me think that you're releasing your anxiety, you're releasing your worries, your guilt, you're releasing all the stuff that's bugging you, and you're allowing it to die, and knowing, in a relaxed surrender, peace and release, knowing that all that has died away is going to come back as something super nourishing and super wonderful, better than even before. It's the mushroom right there. So release your fears, your guilt, your anxiety. Think about paying attention and observing yourself with non-judgment this week. And when your ego comes up to trigger you, pay attention when you feel themes of fears, senses of lack, like I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough, or oh, I need more because there's not going to be enough, you know, or I'm inadequate. Those are lack. Those are, you know, that's fears are when you think you're never going to get what you want. Fear is when you think you're going to lose what you have. This was something my teacher David Guillaume talked about in our Kabbalah class. So fear is when you fear that you're going to lose what you have, or you worry that you're going to lose what you have. Lack is when you feel like you don't have enough, or that you are not enough. And doubt is when you fear that you will never get what you want, or you worry that you'll never get what you want. So pay attention, you know, when you're feeling these things come up, and release them. Keep reminding yourself that you are building security, that you're embracing this moment right now. And the more secure you are in your internal realm, in your mind and in your heart and in your body and in your soul and in your energy, then your outer circumstances, your kingdoms will be more secure. Energetically around you, you will be more surrounded by what's called surrounding light that protects you from chaos. You build that as you feel more certain, as you deepen your faith, as you feel, as you practice being more secure and stable on the inside. And as you keep practicing that, you will be falling into more of a harmonious cosmic flow with the universe, which really allows for that manifestation to come through, because you're in harmony or in resonance with the higher vibrations, the higher, more core resonance of your authentic truth, right? That the truth of your vibration, that base level, whatever you're sitting at constantly. how would you say that? Is that base level, like your resting rate? Your resting rate vibration is like your core essence. Or at least, well, your core essence is like the spark of divine, but you know what I mean? Like you want to work on that resting vibrational rate. You want to bring that up so that you are buzzing at like joy, love, gratitude at any given time, right? You want to definitely push past any sense of apathy or any sense of just emotional tiredness or giving up, or don't throw in the towel. Don't give up on yourself yet, because it's that desire that's going to pull your manifestation through. It's the desire, the passion, the grit, the willpower that is going to pull that through and crystallize it into the material world. And surrender, release, let go. Like you can't let go and let God. Do your side. Show up and give your half and take responsibility for all of it, right? Show up and do everything that you can. Tackle every issue from a physical angle, from a spiritual angle, from an energetic angle. Tackle your problems from every angle so that you know that you did everything you could using your wisdom, your discernment, and your heart, soul, mind, and strength in alignment with like what you feel divinely guided to do in that time. Make sure and take your time and go slow and observe yourself so that you are able to kind of workshop these things as they're coming up. Like you can ask yourself, okay, why is this happening in my movie? I'm going to pause and I'm going to observe this. How is this playing out for me? If I assumed that everything that is happening, it is happening because the light is using it to send me a message or show me something or teach me something, then what would I draw hypothetically from this situation or from what that person said? Or even if it's something that's like somebody said something that seemed like mean or unfair or unjustified, like pretend for 2 seconds that the creator sent you that message and then think like, is there any truth in this? Can I take any of this and actually like you apply it to my own personal development, and the rest of it leave? Like, don't feel bad about yourself. Don't feel down on yourself. Don't feel guilty. Don't have shame. Don't give it a second thought. But if you can, like a machine, take things from everywhere and use them to make yourself the ultimate version of you, like you're a superhero at this point, right? Let go of your expectations, let go of your agenda, let go of your timeline, release, 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 peace and release. The more you surrender, the more you relax into that harmony and that flow, and the more things can just fall into place for you. Right? And the better and the more you embrace your present moment and don't fight against it and just accept it and be happy and grateful and joyful and sprightly and fun and in love with your now, where you're at and who you are in this moment, then the whole world will open up to you, right? Because it's all about love, self-love, agape love, getting into that highest vibration. And when you're feeling guilty, when you're feeling afraid, when you're feeling nervous or anxious or second guessing or beating yourself up or going on a loop or like, oh, what could I have done differently? Oh, what did I say? I don't understand what just happened. All of that confusion, all of those things that keep you in a state of unrest, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a good week. It's a mixed bag of tricks, guys, but I think that this week is going to be, I think it's overall, it makes me feel good. I think mostly we are feeling this harmony, embracing the moment and building upon our security little by little. It's just that it's not like we're ever going to fully escape the ego's tricks. We're always on the lookout for them. We're always being hyper vigilant or not hyper vigilant, but we're always being vigilant to remain aware of the ego's tricks. And apathy is certainly a result of being nailed by the ego from every angle. And you're just like, more dead than dead, more dead than dead. Apathy card. Release it all and let yourself be renewed. All right, you guys, everything's going to be fine. I think the key is just remembering that the answer to the riddle this week, the assignment, no matter what comes up, is just to practice certainty and security, that the light loves you, that there is this ultimate happiness, ultimate fulfillment waiting for you, and everything that is yours is already yours. And the moment that you need to reach for something that you truly need, it will be there. And the things that are going to enhance your life, that are going to be nice, but you're not, an immediate need for, then it's a process, but it will come to. And it's about knowing that we are worthy and deserving, and that we are more than adequate, and that we already have everything that we're reaching for on the outside is already within us. And the moment that we realize that we already have it all, we don't even need to reach anymore. And once we don't need to reach anymore, it's already there. Because in our mind and our consciousness and our understanding, we're like, oh, this is already mine. I own this. And so then it appears in the physical as well. All right. I hope that you have a good rest of your night or a good rest of your day whenever you're watching this. I'll see you later. Bye.